What is up, everyone? Today I've got a video for those of you who have been unlucky enough to have a GMB profile get suspended. And honestly, this sucks because if you put a lot of time and effort getting a page up, especially if it gets suspended later down the line, this could really, really suck and be really, really annoying. And trust me, I've dealt with this. So basically, if your profile gets suspended, you're going to be brought to a screen that looks something like this, where it says your access has been suspended because the profile doesn't follow the guidelines. Edit your business info and learn how to regain access. Okay. So there are a couple things that you can do from here in order to either get this profile listed back up or in order to get another profile listed back up and make sure that that one is safe and sound and doesn't get suspended. So I'll talk about how you can potentially get this profile listed back up and also just good measures to make sure that this never happens again with any of your other profiles, as well as how you can put up a new one and have that one stay up. Okay. So first things first, again, if you do have an actual like business that operates properly and you got suspended for no reason, make sure that all of this information first is right. So go in, edit anything that might be wrong, and then you can go ahead and submit the documents that it asks for. Okay. So it's going to ask for documentation and you're going to submit basically proof of the business registry. It's going to ask for some sort of licensing if you can provide that, and then it'll ask for things like utility bills, phone bill, Wi-Fi bill, stuff like that. Obviously, as much evidence as you could possibly submit, the better. And basically, how you're going to do that is you're going to click learn more. There's going to be a couple steps. You're going to submit an appeal. Just make sure that you have all of your evidence ready because it only gives you an hour from when you press the appeal button to actually attach all of those documents. So just make sure that you have those pre-planned. And then again, a lot of you watching might not physically have these profiles as like real businesses, which is what I do. I have a ton of these plumbing company profiles, which basically I operate, and they're all listed on addresses that I don't own. The company, when I put them up, wasn't even registered. So yeah, a lot of you are going to have this issue. What do you do in that case? You're going to have to, and this is the only way really that you can even like attempt doing it. Is you gotta edit your documents, right? So you gotta basically find the documents that correspond to whatever city and whatever proof that you want to submit, and you do your best to edit them and make them look as if they weren't edited. So you can try that. Whether your page will get reinstated or not, who knows? Even with proper documentation, there's still a high chance that your reinstatement is not going to get approved. So when that happens, the easiest thing to do is it's going to basically say that your case is pending. Give it a little bit of time after it gets not approved. It'll say your case is pending. Give that a bit of time to cool off and basically get removed. And from there, there's going to be an option to submit a support ticket to Google My Business. You can literally just search up Google My Business support ticket. Make sure you're logged into that email and it'll take you there. And then get to the contact us section and basically ask them to give you the option to re-verify either through a video or through a live video. And then from there, you will highly likely be given the chance to re-verify your business. Just go in and say, hey, I was suspended for no reason. Everything is compliant, blah, 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 blah. Ask them to let you re-verify. From there, you can again either record your business video again or fake your business video again, whatever you choose to do. Honestly, not that hard to fake it if that's what you want to do. And that might work. Okay. So that's kind of what you're stuck with as your options if your profile does get suspended. Now, what else you could do is just make another profile and just make sure it's done properly and make sure that this one doesn't get suspended. Okay. So these are some things that you want to keep in mind. Make sure that you do not do. And also just for other future profiles, if you have other ones, just keep this stuff in mind. It's going to be helpful anyways. So first things first, when you're setting up your new profile, make sure you change some variables. So as you can see here, we had total revival cleaning services. What I would do is maybe add like the city name at the end or something just to make the name a little bit different. Okay. So I would change it to Total Revival Cleaning Services. You can see the city of Scarborough. So I would just make it Total Revival Cleaning Services of Scarborough. Okay. If you already have the city name in it, you can throw a comma in somewhere. You can throw a capital letter in somewhere or a lowercase letter in somewhere. It doesn't really matter too much. You just don't want them to connect. And you want to just have like a small little variation in the name. I found that has helped a lot with making sure that stuff doesn't get suspended. So that's going to be the first thing. And then the second one is ideally you want to verify through a video. Now, if your page gets instantly approved, which sometimes does happen, there's nothing you can really do, right? It just goes through. But if it's asking you for code options, I rarely recommend verifying through a phone code or an email code even, just because these ones are a lot more susceptible to getting suspended. What I've noticed is that if you record the video, your profile is usually going to be a lot more sound and it's not going to be touched if everything else is in place. Okay. So if you have the option to, and if you can, verify or do the fake video to get your business back up. Okay. Now the next thing is sensitive edits. So if you're editing things like the name or the address or the category, you're going to get suspended, right? You don't want to be making those kinds of edits. So as a general rule of thumb, try not to do anything really apart from like the small stuff. Even like the description, I would not edit it multiple times, maybe like once. Don't go in and make a ton of edits to the description. Definitely, like I said, don't edit the address. Never edit the address or the name or the category. You will like most likely 100% get suspended. You might get lucky, but most of the time you're going to get suspended. I would try not to change the phone number or the website either. Those are usually not really good to change. Those might get you suspended. And then just generally, you don't want to be making too many edits too quick. So even if you're doing like your optimizations and stuff, again, like it's probably not going to do anything, but it's just better to be safe than sorry. Again, especially if you're putting a lot of work getting these pages up, like you just don't want them to go out the door. So be kind of slow and conservative with your edits. Do one day where you add photos, the next day you add a description, next day you add some products, and then you can go in, add some additional services, whatever. So just try to be a little bit slower on your edits, and then make sure they're actually listed on an address that isn't as likely to get suspended. So let's say, for example, this one was listed on a house, right? Generally speaking, you don't really want a business profile listed on a house. That is a lot more likely to get suspended than, for example, a large commercial building where there's no like storefront signage or anything. It's just a big ass building and you have a unit and your business operates from there. It's really hard to verify whether that's real or fake. But a house, on the other hand, that's something where it's like you're not supposed to even have a business listing on a house technically. So I would try to just make sure that the address that you're listed on is as sort of good as possible. Again, there's no like clear like set, this is the kind of address that you need. But just generally from what I've noticed when I've had fake profiles listed on these like big commercial units, I was chilling. When I had it on a house, I wasn't chilling. So obviously you don't want to get suspended, so do that. Okay. And the last thing, these are kind of go hand in hand, and again, they don't really like, there's nowhere to really verify whether these actually matter or not. I'm just talking at this point based off anecdote, and I've had so many GMB profiles. I've had hundreds of these profiles verify, and I've had hundreds, probably not hundreds, but I've had at least like 20 to 30 get suspended, right? And so what I've noticed is the Gmail account actually does matter. So if you have an aged account that's used a lot and it's just like a properly just like active account, you're generally gonna have better luck than if you just kind of like make a new Gmail to manage this GMB. And then also, I keep all of mine managed on different Gmails. Like mine are all spread across different Gmails. So, or at least most of them, because I've had an instance where the whole account, every single Google business profile banned. There's like 20 of them. Luckily, like they were like ones that I didn't really need or use anymore, but still definitely don't want to risk that. So I try to keep everything on different Gmails now as well. Um, yeah, that's about all. So again, kind of sucks. There's not really much that you can do if your profile gets suspended. So it's definitely best that you keep these things in mind and just try to not get suspended in the first place. But if it does, then these are kind of your options, is what you gotta resort to, and that's pretty much what you gotta do. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, leave me a like and subscribe. Please do that, um, because it helps me. So you know what I mean. And if you are interested in getting one-on-one personalized help, then I will leave a link to book a call in my bio. If you check out some of my other videos, I didn't really dive into it much here, but I own a pretty big plumbing company here in Toronto. I guess I'll really quickly show it, just for some social proof. But all of these locations here are owned by me. You can go ahead and call any one of these numbers, Plumber Done Right, and I will pick up the phone. And I generate leads for plumbing, and I contract the work out once these leads come through. And I make a lot of money doing it, probably around 30 grand a month in profit, maybe 20 grand, depends on the month, but that's what I do. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. I'll leave the link to book a call if you're interested in getting help, and I will see you in the next video.